Hey everyone, welcome back to Queens of the Pony Ages Game of the Year week. My name's Mark. This will be my list. It's been a weird year for games in 2011. The big hitters didn't really hit as hard for me, and some of the smaller titles were more impactful, shall we say. And also, there wasn't a lot of boobs this year. So let's take a rundown of my top 10. It's easy to forget that in February, Dead Space 2 came out. I kind of blasted through both of them in the space of, what, a couple months? Dead Space 2 is the most intense game that I've seen in a long while. Apart from the last two chapters that I didn't particularly agree with, but the production values were so high, the sound quality was amazing, and it's the only game this year I've had to turn off because I was so freaked out to continue. As the massive Nolan North fan that I am, it's only logical that I have some sort of Nolan North game on my list. So at number 9, we have Uncharted 3. Uncharted 3 didn't really hit the high points that Uncharted 2 did, but it was still a damn good game in its own right, apart from that aiming stuff. Blood Rain Betrayal is like a good dominatrix. It does everything it can to possibly punish you while looking insanely good while it's doing it. Just without the added 50 quid charge. It's been a while since I've liked a Mario Kart game. Mario Kart on the Wii was kind of shit, and it's been a while since Double Dash, but Mario Kart 7 really hits the high points. Especially with that awesome online multiplayer and local multiplayer. That's right, Darren, I'm clearly better at the game than you are. With the resurgence of fighting games the last couple of years, it's been a while since I've had anything that I really enjoyed. Terra Live Dimensions was probably the best fun I had with any fighting game this year. Along with the online features and there's some crazy 3D effects, it put my 3DS to really good use this year. I didn't get on particularly well with Oblivion. It just seemed to bore me for some reason. So it's a bit of a surprise when I say that Skyrim has managed to keep my attention at every turn. You can do whatever the hell you want in this game and everyone will play it differently. Plus, it's the only game this year to feature backwards dragons and flying horses.
They patched it!
Oh, while Ubisoft may have left Rayman Origins to die in a busy release window, I was one of the few people that actually noticed the game. So much so that I bought 4 copies of the damn thing. It's the most beautiful, craziest, fun co-op game that you can possibly buy, and the controls are amazing. Plus, everybody speaks in Pig Latin for some reason. One of the best gaming experiences I've had in the entire year came from Bastion. It's from a little-known developer called Supergiant Games, but it had the most impactful story and ending I have experienced in any game this year. From its brilliant art style to the great mechanics that go along with it, and while people may consider it a one-trick pony for its voiceover, it does so much else that continually makes it on top of my list. Batman Arkham City is less of an action game and more of a Batman simulator. It lets you do whatever the f you want as Batman, and I can't think of any other game that does that. Especially when it's every comic fan's wet dream to get into those tight leather pants and go beat up bad guys.
I'm Batman!
But my number 1 game this year is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D Edition. I can't think of another game that has made me recharge my 3DS so many times because I burnt out the battery. It's a remake but also a reimagining. The art style has been improved and the frame rate has been sorted out, making things a lot easier, especially during that water temple segment, which is not a problem anymore. It's the only game I can possibly think of that will ever make me break my not giving anything a 10 out of 10 rule. When we started the podcast I said I would never do it, but this came out and it made me do it. And that's my top 10 list for Game of the Year 2011. Stay tuned to the site for more individual top 10s along with the podcast where we announce our Game of the Year. Stay tuned.